There was a time when the name Mel Gibson carried a near-mythic resonance in Hollywood, a symbol of charisma, intensity, and emotional authenticity that captivated audiences worldwide. He was never simply an actor delivering lines. He embodied the raw force of human emotion, whether through the chaos of battle in Braveheart or the spiritual struggles portrayed in The Passion of the Christ. His presence on screen demanded attention, commanding respect and awe, not because of manufactured spectacle, but because he seemed to pour every part of himself into the story. For years, he represented both the dreams and the vulnerabilities of humanity, capturing hearts with his fearless commitment to his craft. Fame arrived abruptly, changing the landscape of his life before he could fully prepare for its weight, setting the stage for a journey marked by remarkable achievements, creative brilliance, and the inevitable challenges of living under the constant gaze of the public eye. Early life and the roots of intensity. Born in 1956 in Peekskill, New York, Mel Gibson grew up one of 11 children in a family guided by faith, discipline, and strong moral values, which shaped his sense of responsibility and resilience from a young age. When his family relocated to Australia, he carried with him a dual identity, blending his American roots with the culture and experiences of his new home, a fusion that would later inform his artistic instincts and unique presence on screen. Acting was not initially a calling, but when he discovered it, it became an outlet for emotions and inner reflections that might otherwise have remained unspoken. Even as a young man, those around him noticed a serious, introspective side beneath his charm, a depth that hinted at a sensitivity and emotional richness, capable of producing performances that would resonate deeply with audiences for decades, setting the foundation for a career defined by both brilliance and authenticity. Mad Max and the birth of a star. Gibson's breakthrough came with Mad Max, a film that transformed him from a relatively unknown actor into a global phenomenon almost overnight. The gritty post-apocalyptic story required a portrayal of raw emotion, resilience, and inner turmoil, which Gibson delivered with a compelling intensity that felt lived in and authentic. His character's quiet determination and subtle vulnerability created a connection with audiences, establishing him as someone who could convey complex emotions without relying on spectacle or exaggeration. This role not only launched his career, but also defined the public's perception of him as an actor capable of embodying strength, conflict, and humanity in equal measure. The success of Mad Max opened doors to Hollywood and set the stage for more nuanced, challenging roles, while also placing expectations on Gibson to continue delivering performances of equal depth, signaling the beginning of a journey that would intertwine fame, artistic exploration, and personal growth. Hollywood embrace and global stardom. Throughout the 1980s and early 1990s, Mel Gibson became a central figure in Hollywood, admired for his versatility and commitment to authentic storytelling. Films such as Gallipoli, The Year of Living Dangerously, and the Lethal Weapon series showcased his ability to balance emotional vulnerability with commanding presence, earning the trust of audiences who found sincerity in his performances. Off-screen, Gibson projected a life of stability, faith, and devotion to his family, reinforcing a public image of groundedness despite his extraordinary career trajectory. The combination of talent, discipline, and personal integrity made him a figure of admiration in the industry, and his willingness to take creative risks distinguished him from his peers. Yet, behind the scenes, the continuous demands of fame and expectation required a level of resilience that tested even his considerable strength, highlighting the often hidden interplay between personal sacrifice and professional success, a dynamic that would influence the course of his career in profound ways. Braveheart and the weight of creative power. With Braveheart, Gibson stepped into the dual role of director and lead actor, a challenge few could manage, yet he pursued it with unwavering commitment. The film's immense success, including multiple Academy Awards, affirmed his talent not only as a performer, but as a visionary filmmaker capable of telling sweeping, emotionally resonant stories. Behind the accolades, however, the project demanded extraordinary personal and creative investment, reflecting Gibson's own dedication to exploring themes of courage, sacrifice, and moral conviction. The process required navigating both physical and emotional challenges, testing his stamina, and reinforcing his belief in the power of authentic storytelling. In achieving this vision, Gibson demonstrated a willingness to carry the weight of his creative ambitions fully, embracing both the exhilaration and the demands of leadership, while leaving a legacy that would inspire aspiring filmmakers and actors to understand the profound responsibility and reward inherent in pursuing one's passion without compromise. Independence, faith, and creative exploration. Following the success of Braveheart, Gibson sought greater creative freedom, founding Icon Productions to pursue projects guided by personal vision rather than studio constraints. This independence allowed him to explore stories that resonated deeply with his own values, including films rooted in themes of faith, resilience, and human struggle. By stepping outside conventional studio expectations, he could take risks that reflected his artistic integrity, challenging audiences to engage with narratives that were emotionally, spiritually, and intellectually compelling. These choices underscored his commitment to storytelling as a vehicle for meaning, rather than solely entertainment, and demonstrated a conviction to prioritize authenticity over convenience or commercial predictability. Through this period, Gibson's work revealed a willingness to explore complex human experiences with nuance, insight, and empathy, emphasizing the importance of creative courage and personal authenticity in shaping a meaningful artistic legacy that could inspire both peers and viewers alike. Cracks beneath the surface. As his career matured, subtle signs of strain began to appear, reminding those around him that even the most celebrated individuals are shaped by their vulnerabilities. Moments of introspection and reflection became more frequent, reflecting the weight of balancing public expectation, personal growth, and artistic ambition. These glimpses of humanity added depth to Gibson's public persona, showing audiences that resilience is not the absence of challenge, but the ability to navigate difficulty with integrity and insight. He continued to work tirelessly, seeking projects that spoke to him creatively, while also learning to balance professional demands with the need for personal renewal. Observers noted his thoughtful approach to both craft and life, suggesting that the visible intensity that characterized his performances was mirrored by an equally profound internal exploration. In these moments, it became clear that Gibson's journey was as much about understanding himself as it was about entertaining or inspiring others. Reinvention through reflection. Life's transitions encouraged Gibson to reflect on his experiences and the lessons embedded in each stage of his career. He embraced opportunities for quiet reinvention, focusing on meaningful work rather than public attention, and exploring the nuances of storytelling with renewed purpose. This period emphasized the importance of self-awareness, patience, and resilience, highlighting that true growth often occurs away from the spotlight. By prioritizing introspection and balance, Gibson reinforced the idea that success is not only measured by acclaim, but also by the ability to cultivate personal integrity and creative authenticity. Audiences could sense this subtle evolution in his later projects, where the depth of character and commitment to truth in performance conveyed a man who had grown wiser, more reflective, and increasingly attuned to the impact of his work. It was a reminder that sustained artistry often requires periods of pause, self-examination, and intentional focus. The long road. Back Gibson's journey illustrates the slow, deliberate process of building resilience and re-establishing trust, both within oneself and with collaborators. By choosing roles that aligned with his values, maintaining discipline, and investing in meaningful relationships, he gradually cultivated a renewed sense of purpose in his work. Professional respect is often earned through consistency and authenticity, and Gibson's approach emphasized that career recovery is less about public redemption than about personal commitment to growth and integrity. During this phase, he demonstrated a remarkable capacity for self-reflection, learning to navigate the intersection of personal life and professional responsibility with patience and care. The emphasis on deliberate progress, rather than immediate recognition, highlighted a broader lesson about the importance of persistence, humility, and thoughtful action in sustaining a long and meaningful career, even after challenges have reshaped one's path. Hacksaw Ridge and A Quiet Return. In 2016, Gibson returned to directing with Hacksaw Ridge, a project reflecting his enduring interest in stories of courage, faith, and human perseverance. The film received critical acclaim, illustrating his continued ability to craft narratives that resonate emotionally while honoring the complexity of real human experience. This marked a significant moment, demonstrating that artistic vision and dedication could thrive alongside personal growth and reflection. While audiences and critics responded with respect rather than uncritical enthusiasm, the project signaled Gibson's enduring relevance and adaptability, proving that meaningful work can emerge even after years away from the spotlight. His commitment to exploring profound themes with sensitivity and authenticity reaffirmed his reputation as a filmmaker capable of marrying technical skill with emotional insight, inspiring both peers and viewers to recognize the value of resilience, patience, and thoughtful storytelling in the creative journey, living with a complicated legacy. Today, Gibson navigates a life defined by reflection, selective engagement, and family-centered priorities. He mentors emerging filmmakers, contributes creatively where it resonates, and enjoys a quieter rhythm removed from the pressures of constant public scrutiny. Those who know him describe a man tempered by experience, embracing humility, self-awareness, and gratitude, qualities that have enriched both his personal life and professional approach. His creative choices continue to reflect curiosity, dedication, and emotional authenticity, illustrating that legacy is less about perfection and more about the ongoing pursuit of meaningful expression. By balancing professional endeavor with introspection and care, Gibson demonstrates that enduring artistry involves more than talent alone. It requires thoughtfulness, patience, and a deep understanding of human experience, offering audiences a portrait of a life lived fully, with both intention and humility, aging, reflection, and acceptance. At 70, Gibson's perspective on life and work has shifted toward introspection and thoughtful engagement. The relentless pace of early fame has given way to measured choices, where each role and project reflects personal resonance and artistic purpose. This stage of life emphasizes reflection over recognition, growth over accolades, and resilience over ambition. He approaches his work and relationships with a quiet awareness of the passage of time, understanding that some experiences cannot be undone, but can be acknowledged and integrated into personal growth. In these years, Gibson embodies the idea that fulfillment derives from authenticity, self-understanding, and the ability to embrace life with openness, curiosity, and gratitude. His journey illustrates that aging can bring clarity, perspective, and peace, demonstrating that even those who have lived in the spotlight can find balance and meaning in quieter, more intentional ways. What his story teaches us, Mel Gibson's journey offers lessons that transcend celebrity and cinema, illuminating the universal human pursuit of purpose, growth, and understanding. It reminds us that talent alone is never enough. Resilience, reflection, and self-awareness shape a meaningful life. His story underscores the importance of pursuing passion with integrity, embracing challenges as opportunities for learning, and balancing ambition with emotional mindfulness. It also highlights that personal growth is ongoing, requiring both humility and courage to face oneself honestly. By witnessing his life and career, audiences gain insight into the interplay between creative brilliance, vulnerability, and perseverance, learning that meaningful achievement is often inseparable from self-reflection and dedication. Gibson's path encourages viewers to honor their own journeys, understanding that the measure of a life well lived lies not in perfection, but in authenticity, resilience, and commitment to evolving with intention. A man, not a myth. Beyond the accolades, the headlines, and the public narrative, Mel Gibson remains at his core, a human being navigating the complexities of life, with curiosity, courage, and creativity. His story reminds us that even those who seem larger than life are shaped by experiences, reflection, and the pursuit of meaning. He embodies brilliance and imperfection, conviction and humility, offering a portrait of humanity that resonates across time and culture. In embracing both achievements and lessons learned, Gibson demonstrates the enduring value of personal growth, introspection, and the pursuit of authenticity. Whether remembered for cinematic triumphs, personal milestones, or quiet moments of reflection, his life affirms a fundamental truth. Behind every icon is a person continuing to learn, adapt, and seek purpose. A reminder that the journey of self-understanding is universal, compelling, and never complete.